As you can tell, this is going to be more of a pep rally than a memorial. We're going to celebrate a great man who loved his school. So today is not a somber occasion. Today is a day we celebrate our #1 fan, the leader of the band, and a man who left us better than he found us, didn't he? Now, on a personal note, about 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with throat cancer. And, you know, when that news hits you, there's fear, but there's also this desire to attack it, to get after it, to attack what's attacking you. And when I had that fear, and I had a lot of people talking to me, I realized I needed to go to a center of excellence like MD Anderson. So I went to talk to Coach Holder. Coach, you'll remember this. I came to Coach Holder's office and I said, Coach, I've got one chance at this. I want to walk my daughter Lauren down the aisle. I want to grow old with my beautiful wife, Jimmy. I want to be here at Oklahoma State calling games, and I feel like I need to call in a favor. We need to call our top supporter in Boone Pickens. And Coach Holder said, Larry, you're absolutely right. So we're in his office, and we called Boone, and I explained the situation to him after Coach Holder initially got him on the phone. And here's what Boone said to me. He said, Larry, I would have been mad at you if you hadn't called me. And by the way, I gave them $50 million. I said, yes, sir. I knew you might know somebody down there. And he said, absolutely, and he assured me, he said, Larry, he goes, I'm glad you called. By the end of the day, you will have a phone call from MD Anderson, and you will be in good hands. That was such a relief to me, and I left Coach Holder's office, and I drove to Tulsa to meet with a couple of our great supporters. By the time I got to the outskirts of Tulsa, I had a phone call from MD Anderson, and we were getting a plan of attack in order. And I can tell you that I'm now standing here 4 years and 8 months cancer-free because of the prayer posse, a lot of you, and because of my friend Boone Pickens. So thank you, Mr. Pickens.
As an Oklahoma son with a pioneering spirit, T. Boone was both plain-speaking and impactful. Perhaps some might say he and Will Rogers are two of the greatest Oklahomans to ever live. Well, Will Rogers once said, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. T. Boone Pickens shared this wisdom, but delivered it with a little more backwoods flavor. He said, if you're going to run with the big dogs, you have to get out from under the porch. And much like Will Rogers, Boone had a strong words of advice for today's politicians. He said, a plan without action is not a plan, it's a speech. Even as he wrote his final words before leaving this earth, T. Boone reminded us, don't look to government to solve problems. The strength of this country is in its people.
You know, one of Boone's main rules that he always would repeat to me is when you're hunting elephants, don't get distracted chasing rabbits. And he hunted some elephant-sized projects in his lifetime. When you think about it, whether it was exercising shareholder rights or promoting energy independence with the Pickens Plan, or what few people know, but Larry just mentioned that he's given $50 million toward a cure for cancer. He really transformed America in many ways, and he sure enough transformed Oklahoma State. Maybe his biggest gift was, as Steve mentioned in his invocation, the inspiration that he provided to the university and to our donors. Just imagine, since he gave that $100 million gift, we have now raised in cash and pledges over $2 billion. We have, that's from approximately 70,000.
But Boone's impact goes so far beyond his actual dollar commitments to our alma mater. The impact of his remarkable life, the way he has inspired so many people with his vision, his philanthropy, can never ever really even be measured. And I'd like to share with you just one example today on a very personal level. Right here on the campus, on the OSU library lawn, as we were all here gathered to celebrate Boone's 80th birthday, he made a statement that forever changed the life of my Glen Ann Greenwood. Sorry. He said, quite simply, I don't understand why people wait until they're gone to give back so they can't see the difference that they have made. That profound statement absolutely struck a chord with us, and Mike and I thought about it, and you know what? He was exactly right. That's exactly what we were doing with our planned giving. We decided that we both agreed he was also absolutely right that the time to give to OSU is now, not later, so that we can see the impact that we've had.
My first encounter with Mr. Pickens was during his visits to campus, this part of campus, in the early 2000s. And I noticed right away that no task was too tall for him. That vision in the early 2000s took place maybe 6 or 8 years later when we essentially changed our front porch to Oklahoma State athletics. We talk a lot about the donations. There's so many of them we can't even keep up with them. So many we don't know about. But the effect that he has had on Stillwater, the alumni from Oklahoma State, the pride that he has instilled in all of us, the community, the hospitals, the population, the property value of Stillwater, and the effects that he's had on us in general is astounding.